Your college performance does not relate to the National Football League. It never does.
They played side by side with each other, and he wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers. That's an issue. That's a major issue.
It wasn't that it wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers.
Ever got to Texas?
It wasn't that it wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers. It was Quinn Ewers' program, which Steve Sarkisian made very clear the entirety of the time that Arch Manning was in Austin. So for you to argue that because Ewers is a 7th-round pick, Arch Manning is not that good and not deserving of being first overall is asinine. It is wrong. It is incorrect.
He's going to be number 1 overall. My whole thing was I'm buying
you're doing your thing now where you double down on a tape that is incorrect.
The best quarterback prospect to ever hit college football can't play.
He's
over
not
a 7th-round
There were 2 perfectly rated quarterback recruits in the history of the sport.
Quinn Ewers couldn't even play at Ohio State. He couldn't even play at Ohio State.
Quinn Ewers. Go look it up.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
The Tigers, 31-17, Matt, on the season. They've got the best pitching in baseball, but don't look now. The Twins are now on their heels at 26-21.
The best hitters can't stay healthy. We obviously saw a situation last week where 2 of those guys got hurt on the same play. So that's the Twins, and I think Twins fans, I'm up in Twins country. Twins fans know that up here, and you're kind of always waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Boston knew they were in trouble, Tom, but the most important thing is they fed off of their crowd, and in that 3rd quarter, when Boston could have made a run, the Knicks just put that one last run together to put the game away.
So it was good to see them, to round this all together, good to see them finally put all the pieces in place to close out the series and say, yes, we are playing our best basketball, because that's what they're going to need against the Pacers.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Chiefs Chargers in Brazil on Friday on YouTube. They're going to give everyone that game for free. They're so generous because the rest of the season they're going to fleece you for all your money.
That's one, Scott. That division, to me, based on what's happened to the Chiefs the last couple seasons, that division, the AFC West, could be up for grabs here. I know Chiefs fans think I'm probably out of my mind.
Pharrell, coast to coast, only on SportsGrid.
The 2 guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching!
Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What?
How do you do this one?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Vegas knows how to celebrate. If you're headed to Vegas for your birthday, plan ahead to get all the birthday freebies the city has to offer. Just by showing your ID, you could get free cash play, scratch cards, drinks, and food at various venues on the Strip. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
You are a Pirates fan. I don't think you've got a reason good enough for me to be wearing Met stuff when the Mets are playing the Pirates right now. I don't think I'm gonna go, okay, I see it at the end of your explanation.
I'm gonna put it on Vinny. I'm gonna put it on all the Mets fans. The Pirates won 2 in a row. Fired the manager over the weekend. A new era of Pirates baseball has begun.
Game Time Decisions, only on SportsGrid.
The 2 guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching!
Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What?
How do you do this one?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
Rearranging that ring. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of thoughts.
18.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. It's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Tell you statistics for whether you hit or stand on every move. If you're into stats, this could be your ticket to winning. And it is totally legal. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
If you believe he should be in the Hall of Fame, there's, let's let him wait another 2 years. Wait, he's already dead at this point. Like, what are you waiting for? Another 2 to 3 years. He's either in or he's out. And sometimes you look at that too, Thomas, like you can't tell, the history of Major League Baseball without Pete Rose.
Frankly, the writers have some standard that they want to hold players to, which seems to fluctuate on a player-to-player basis. So he should be in the Hall of Fame, but I'm not sure how quickly he'll get there.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
I'm not saying this thing is scripted, but damn it, they put those two teams on the first weekend of the basketball season for a reason, because they were expecting some kind of fireworks. They got it. Did Angel Reese overreact? Probably. Did Caitlin Clark have to stare it down? Probably not. There's enough blame to go both sides. But guess who doesn't care? That's the WNBA.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
Rearranging that ring. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of thoughts.
18.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. It's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Playing online blackjack and want to try upping your odds? Well, here's a tip. Cheat cards tell you statistics for whether you hit or stand on every move. If you're into stats, this could be your ticket to winning. And it is totally legal. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
If you believe he should be in the Hall of Fame, there's, let's let him wait another 2 years. Wait, he's already dead at this point. Like, what are you waiting for? Another 2 to 3 years. He's either in or he's out. And sometimes you look at that too, Thomas, like you can't tell, the history of Major League Baseball without Pete Rose.
Frankly, the writers have some standard that they want to hold players to, which seems to fluctuate on a player-to-player basis. So he should be in the Hall of Fame, but I'm not sure how quickly he'll get there.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
I'm not saying this thing is scripted, but damn it, they put those two teams on the first weekend of the basketball season for a reason, because they were expecting some kind of fireworks. They got it. Did Angel Reese overreact? Probably. Did Caitlin Clark have to stare it down? Probably not. There's enough blame to go both sides. But guess who doesn't care? That's the WNBA.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
Rearranging that ring. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of thoughts.
18.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. It's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Playing online blackjack and want to try upping your odds? Well, here's a tip. Cheat cards tell you statistics for whether you hit or stand on every move. If you're into stats, this could be your ticket to winning. And it is totally legal. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
If you believe he should be in the Hall of Fame, there's, let's let him wait another 2 years. Wait, he's already dead at this point. Like, what are you waiting for? Another 2 to 3 years. He's either in or he's out. And sometimes you look at that too, Tom, it's like you can't tell, the history of Major League Baseball without Pete Rose.
Frankly, the writers have some standard that they want to hold players to, which seems to fluctuate on a player-to-player basis. So he should be in the Hall of Fame, but I'm not sure how quickly he'll get there.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
I'm not saying this thing is scripted, but damn it, they put those two teams on the first weekend of the basketball season for a reason, because they were expecting some kind of fireworks. They got it. Did Angel Reese overreact? Probably. Did Caitlin Clark have to stare it down? Probably not. There's enough blame to go both sides. But guess who doesn't care? That's the WNBA.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
Rearranging that roof. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of 15.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. It's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Playing online blackjack and want to try upping your odds? Well, here's a tip. Cheat cards tell you statistics for whether you hit or stand on every move. If you're into stats, this could be your ticket to winning. And it is totally legal. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
If you believe he should be in the Hall of Fame, there's, let's let him wait another 2 years. Wait, he's already dead at this point. Like, what are you waiting for? Another 2 to 3 years. He's either in or he's out. And sometimes you look at that too, Tom, it's like you can't tell, the history of Major League Baseball without Pete Rose.
Frankly, the writers have some standard that they want to hold players to, which seems to fluctuate on a player-to-player basis. So he should be in the Hall of Fame, but I'm not sure how quickly he'll get there.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
I'm not saying this thing is scripted.
First time in his career. Meanwhile, over at ESPN, the second longest running sports debate show on TV, Around the Horn, comes to an end tomorrow, and its host of 21 years, Tony Reale, joins us in studio today. Hello and welcome into Front Office Sports Today. I'm Renee Washington from our FOS studios.
I'm Baker Machado. Thanks so much for joining us. No mute buttons on this show, but Renee and I are chatting the biggest stories happening in the business and culture of sports every weekday. And we got a big show ahead, including Tony Reale. But first, let's get to some of the headlines in the shoot-around.
Some sad sports news. Rest in peace to longtime Indianapolis Colts owner Jim Irsay, who passed away peacefully in his sleep Wednesday afternoon at 65. And Jim has been so pivotal over the years, Baker, in so many aspects of the Colts. Their Super Bowl runs, including that 06 title led by Peyton Manning and Tony Dungy, the 08 transition to Lucas Oil Stadium, and even as he took over from his father, Robert, at 37 years old after his dad passed away, to lead this franchise, and now it does get passed off to his eldest daughter, Carly.
Yeah, Carly at 44 years old, now the youngest of all of the owners out there. She, like her dad, at when he was early in his age at 37, was the youngest at the time when he took over at the Colts. She also is one of 9 women owners within the NFL as well, which is really impressive to see that stat.
Yeah, so much has changed since he joined the front office when they relocated from Baltimore. Well, also with 71 out of 100 first place votes, congratulations to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander on being named the NBA MVP for the first time in his career. The 26-year-old stat line this regular season only joins Michael Jordan as the only other person that's had a stat line like SGA. So for anybody that's wondering why he won MVP, he's in great company. But also, he did lead the top-seeded Thunder to be now one of just 7 teams ever to have at least 68 regular season wins.
Look, and 7 straight international players have now won the MVP award, which is incredibly impressive for him. Look, he's put a great performance together. I think those of us who maybe thought Nikola Jokic, who also had an equally incredible season as well, was deserving of this award. I think we're shocked at how this was not close. I think we thought this would be closer than it was, and the fact that SGA still beat Joker by like 40 first place votes shows far and away that most people thought that he was the best player this year.
Yes, well, with the Dallas Stars and defending champs, Florida Panthers, both up 1-0 in their respective conference finals, NHL playoff ratings are down bad. Now, games on the ESPN platforms are down 28% compared to last year. Over on TNT Sports platforms, they're down 19%. And Baker, a big part of this, people are wondering, is if because of the 5 out of the 16 original playoff teams being from Canada, knowing the media deals that the league has, where they have a separate NHL media deal for the Canadian viewers, but then also ESPN and TNT only exclusively for U.S. viewers.
I mean, you would think so, but the ratings for Canada, they're actually up. I mean, if you combine the U.S. and Canadian audiences together, the NHL playoffs are actually up 5%. So maybe the Canadians are actually holding this all together.
Maybe. Well, ESPN's Around the Horn is sadly ending Friday, May 23rd, and after 23 years, we're going to have the host, Tony Reali, join us in studios. Let's catch up with him in our main event. Welcome back in our Front Office Sports today alongside Baker. I'm Renee, and we're getting into a historic end of an era. It's been an incredible 23-year run. If you can't tell by the laugh of ESPN's Around the Horn host, and yes, we have the final episode this Friday. And Tony Reali's in the house.
Tony.
Congratulations on an incredible run since you've been host since 2004 to now. And we just appreciate you for joining us on the show,
I
Tony.
appreciate you for acknowledging history and an era. I didn't know I was making history or in an era when I was doing it.
Legend, yes. And it's crazy because you've been the host since that day after the February 2004 Super Bowl.
Can you imagine that?
And
21 years ago.
21 years ago. And you went from Stat Boy on Pardon the Interruption to now the Tony Reali of Around the Horn. And you've mentioned you're a feelings guy. You've talked about that extensively. I'm sure you keep getting asked as you talked about, what are you feeling? Have there been tears? Have there been a big moment? But I'm curious, is there a moment this week especially that's really jumped out at you that, you know what? I did my part in building a great broadcast for ESPN with Around the Horn.
I feel that in my bones. I feel that in my bones. What I feel is the connection with viewers, you know? I think we've all lived a little publicly while we do a show, and we have feedback, and we're getting that. And I've received some of the kindest words throughout my career, but at this moment, it is a lot of positivity, which is a beautiful thing to wrap yourself in. But if there was one moment this week on the show, it's saying goodbye to the people I've worked with. Now, I have a job where I talk to people every day, but via a satellite, like Zoom. So I've been in the same space with people I genuinely love and work with 4, 5, 6 times. I've been in the same space as Woody Page, who I've done 4,000 episodes of TV with.
Some people would say, I'm sorry for that.
Right.
No, we love
You've
Woody
been fortunate, yeah.
Right, but I was telling you this as I sat down, you know? You're not always guaranteed a goodbye in life.
Right.
And that's a truth of real life, right? You might not be able to say goodbye to somebody. Life may just throw a monkey wrench in everything. So having that moment to express gratitude is a wonderful feeling.
Well, I think also you mentioned the 4,000 episodes. I mean, we've all grown up or watched Around the Horn in some capacity during our lives. And Nick Wright from Fox Sports
this was too much.
Actually said that Around the Horn is the single most important show that ever existed. Well, that might be a bit hyperbolic. What do you sort of want Around the Horn's legacy to be when you look back in a time capsule at this moment?
I would first value everybody's opinion. And if it was the exact opposite of that, I would say, sure, make your case like you're on Around the Horn, I'll score you. I would give him some points for saying that, take some points away. I mean, I think the connectivity is a little bit of it's not a magic trick, but it was something I was intentional about. This is a show about sports. And I know I've talked about journalism in some interviews, and we all love that. We saw people who did journalism for newspapers on TV, and then it was expanded to radio people and beat reporters. When they were on our TV, we were doing commentary on our show, and we were having fun with it in many places. And the evolution to maybe talk about things that I felt were important parts of the stories, the feelings, Renee, you just talked about, and the heartfelt nature of stories. That was an evolution of the show. I'm proud of that. I'm just proud introducing voices. I'm proud that the show was a place where you could maybe meet somebody new that could feel like you were having a great conversation about sports with.
And what's great is during your time on the show, you met somebody new. You're now wife. You've gotten married. You've had 3 children. You've evolved as a man. And also, what I appreciate is not only did you grow through the show, but so many others have talked about how the show, Mina Kimes, J.A. Adonde, various panelists that you've had on the show that mentioned they evolved in their careers, ability to talk sports, and even just being a part of the changing landscape, whether it was the all-black panel or bringing more women involved. How did you find that blend to be so successful for so many years of your evolution, being that warm, engaging personality that we feel right now on the show, to also invite others in to be a part of that Around the Horn family?
Well, I mean, I do think my dream was to be a sportscaster, but being a TV host, you know, your job is to snap the ball and put other people in position to win. You're a center in some ways. I know you can host like a point guard. You can host like Steph Curry and shoot 35-footers. That's not the type of way I felt that show needed a host to be. So it's about setting people up. And the job of a opiner, a columnist, is to show people their view, their point of view. It's about perspectives. So when I first started on the show, it was a panel of 5 to 6 who are working every show, and that's a wonderful dynamic. We have that on PTI. You know, Tony and Mike are going to be on every day. And I thought it would be important to have a little differentiation. So this would be a show that you would get more variety, an eclectic group of people. And I want to be able to have any conversation at any time. If we were to talk now on the street about sports, you know, you can bring anything you want to the table. I'm not going to say, wait, hold on a second. I don't want to hear about your private life while we're having this conversation. We'd have a flowing conversation. But I want the 20-year-old to be able to talk to the 70-year-old. And I wanted men and women, of course. And I wanted people from different backgrounds and different sports. And I still think we could have kept on expanding and bringing in more voices because there's no limit to that. And every conversation, I think, is better with full voice.
And that's really important. And we're going to take a quick break, but coming up, we've got more conversations with Tony around why ESPN decided to end the show. And welcome back into Front Office Sports today. Baker, Renee here alongside Tony Reale. And Tony, one of those burning questions that I feel like a lot of viewers have, and I know even over the years as I've watched, how do you get points? Because it feels very, are you getting help? Give us the landscape of a point is made. If it's you just off the cuff,
are you saying I needed help giving points?
That boy in your ear, I mean, what exactly is the process for a point?
And I'm going to talk a little bit more about this in our finale because I do want to pull the curtains back.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Is there an Oz back behind the curtain that we're missing?
We were watching Wicked on the regular with the kids right now. Oh.
Love that.
So I think it was important for the scoring to be fun, relatable, unpredictable, or maybe the show in general, relatable and unpredictable. For me, that's a stick for any TV show I want. A sitcom, I want it to be relatable and unpredictable. So I'm trying to make the panelists come off as human, even while making this great sports argument as possible. And I'm trying to make something unpredictable in the show. That to me became, well, the mechanic is the scoring system. So now, how I score you one day may not be the way I score you the next day. Because life, this is going to sound so silly and I take myself, life scores you differently every day, Renee. Some days stats will get you points. Some days experiential in the locker room, access will get you points. And some days, being the most natural person that you are and showing people who you are may get you points, depending on what it is. I mean, we're talking about Judge versus Ohtani. So give me that, We're talking about the Knicks versus the Pacers. Well, there's ways to do it with stats. There's ways to do it with experiences. But be on your toes because I'm going to score you different every day.
Tony, we got time for one more question.
What do you got?
What is the most interesting thing that we have never seen on Around the Horn that has happened behind the scenes or a conversation with a panelist that you will remember the most over the course of the 20 plus years of being on this that we've never seen or witnessed?
Well, I mean, I do think the scoring is probably that answer. That's one answer. The second is that I would try to purposely make everybody forget they were on TV right before we went to TV. This was a trick I would pass on to you, right? If you're interviewing somebody who is either maybe anxious, because we all have our anxieties before we go on, nervous, whatever. We sat down in our chairs and had them request music, whichever they like. I remember this because Bill Plaschke, the 9-time columnist of the year, always picked ABBA. So now we're listening to Dancing Queen, or the Waterloo, or with all these things, and it would not necessarily land with the 3 other panelists, but he'd be in his chair doing his little Plaschke dance. And now we're making fun of his music. And now we're talking about, well, here's what, at the wedding I danced him up, and now we're in a complete conversation that's different than, while they're still in the back of their head thinking about Pacers versus Knicks, they're already in a space now where they're more relaxed, and then you're just ripping the show.
Love that.
Well,
He'd be great.
congratulations on an incredible run, because when you started back February 2nd, 2024, the world was clamoring around the controversial halftime show by Justin Timberlake and Janet Jackson.
I was more into the
Patriots beat the Panthers.
Yeah, I know. I had to put on a tie that day.
Yeah,
But you see, I mean, dress for the
watching.
job you want was the expression that we used at that moment. Now I don't know what my job. Would I want to be a motorcycle, gang leader? Or I don't know.
Still looks good.
You're definitely giving motorcycle vibes. But thank you for all the tremendous work over the years with
Renee
all
Baker,
the incredible episodes of Around the Horn of nearly 5,000 is reports that we're getting at. So fantastic, fantastic run. And now we get to see the next chapter for
And
you,
wonderful
Tony
job
Reale.
on FOS today, guys.
Thank you so
for
much.
making me feel at home.
Thanks, Tony. Now let's see what's bubbling over at the FOS water cooler. Baker, is Giannis Antetokounmpo bored, or is he trying to dethrone Kevin Durant as the face of NBA Twitter? He's been very active on X lately. We saw him do a live Q&A that he was actually responding to fans that got people stirring around trade rumors and commotion. And then now he actually was trolling when SJ was announced and Shams broke the news on X as the MVP. He actually tweeted out, "What?
I know.
Did Shams not get.
Shams got hacked.
Shams got hacked? No way, this is true. What is Giannis doing? Who is this guy?
I love Twitter Giannis. I don't know if I'm a fan of Twitter Kevin Durant, because Kevin Durant does really troll people, and I think he really wants fights. I think Giannis is just being silly, and I think to your point, I think he's bored. My favorite tweet that he responded to the other day is somebody said, Giannis is trolling the internet, and he responded, life is way more fun that way. So I think he's just enjoying this moment that he is part of the collective conversation of where he's going to go, and I think he's got the time off, and he's watching the NBA playoffs and commenting on it like the rest of us.
Listen, they've been eliminated in the first round the last 3 seasons. You think by now he'd have it figured out. Just kidding. Sorry, Giannis. Catching a stray. But it is interesting to see this personality. He does seem like a very likable, funny, down-to-earth guy, and I'm here for this level of trolling by him.
But he was one of the finalists for the MVP. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why it makes it funny. I mean, actually, what would make it more hilarious if Jokic had a Twitter account, which he doesn't, and he wrote, "Did Shams get hacked?" That would light the entire place on fire.
That definitely would. Well, coming up on Front Office Sports today, on our episode tomorrow, we're going to have NASCAR's top driver Kyle Larson and former Boston Celtic Antoine Walker closing out the week. So stay tuned to join us then. Until next time, see you guys soon. Bye.
The Tigers, 31-17, Matt, on the season. They've got the best pitching in baseball, but don't look now. The Twins are now on their heels at 26-21.
The best hitters can't stay healthy. We obviously saw a situation last week where 2 of those guys got hurt on the same play. So that's the Twins, and I think Twins fans, I'm up in Twins country. Twins fans know that up here, and you're kind of always waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.